Hello Fix fans and welcome back to the shed. I've been wanting to do this idea for a long time, but it's England and it's raining and I've not been able to do it. The weather has just been absolutely atrocious. It involves flying my little Mobula 7 ELRS, the 1S version. If you haven't played with one of these, I suggest you pick one up. This is a better RC basher than my favourite RC basher, which is this little rally car. That's a topic for a different video. What's my idea today? Well, I've been flying around the garden with this little fella and it's first person view out the little camera at the front, and I can see through my goggles when I've got the garden lights on. I can see enough in these kind of dark evenings to have a little fly around. Because this guy, I mean, it's meant to be flown indoors, but flying it around the garden's a little bit easier. One of the problems with this though is there are bits of the garden that the lights don't reach. Flying it into the slightly scarier dark corners of the garden inevitably means a loss of visual orientation and a little bit of scariness as I usually pop it into the fence and drop it into the weeds. So right here I've got a Rovivon A8. There's a little pocket torch that I carry around in my pocket. Pretty powerful though, and it certainly will light up my garden. So I thought maybe I'd use this strapped to the drone. It doesn't weigh a lot. I'll stick it on the scales in the B-roll and you'll see how much it weighs. But hang off this little quadcopter. This is a 20 gram thing itself with no battery on it. So adding this is still going to be pretty chunky. Hopefully it'll be able to lift it and I'll be able to go and fly around the dark corners of the garden. But wait, there's more. What if I turn the garden lights off entirely? Well, I've kind of been putting this off because it's been raining, but I've kind of been putting this off because it's a bit worrying. I don't want to fly this out of the garden with a torch on it into one of my neighbours' houses and make people all think, what the hell is going on? And I certainly don't want to lose it in a bush or a tree. But the time has come. It's just spitting with rain. It's been dry. I've got time. I've got the camera, I've got the drone, I've got the little run cam that I'm going to put to see if I can capture some of the footage of the darker bits, and I've got a charged set of batteries for this. So the best thing we can do is head over there, stick the goggles on. I'll put this camera on a tripod so it can see sort of the whole garden as the drone goes round. I'll throw the run cam in the corner to check whether the dark bits are actually lit up. And we'll have a little fly around with it, and then if I'm happy with that, and it's going to be a bit scary, I'll turn the garden lights off and see what happens. Come with me for the ride. Let's go put the gear on. Okay, there's no time like the present. There's a bit of rain falling out there. Like I said, I'm pretty nervous about this because I don't want my quad to go into my neighbour's house, but I'll have a little warm-up pack. I've got a pack here. Let me just check on the OSD that it's actually got some juice in it. That one appears to be charged. Right, let's check him outside and see how we go. Put you on here, buddy. It's definitely raining. Okay, now this is tricky because I actually see that I can fly quite well with my garden lights on. Oh, put it in the lavender straight away. Does it want to come out of there? No, it doesn't. Let's go rescue it. I wonder why that happened. It went like straight down. Okay, little guy. Try this again, huh? It really is raining. I shouldn't really be messing with this quad in the rain. Let's see how we get on. It's needing a lot of throttle. It's quite windy too. But I can fly under these lights. I mean, it's not ideal. The refresh rate of the lights isn't ideal. Oh my, I'm going to put it in a plant pot. But that's alright. Let's get an orbit of the... It's really dropping this battery. I think it probably needs a different pack in it. This one's a bit thrashed. Right. A little gentle orbit of the washing line, doing alright. Again, it needs more throttle. Swing around here. Yeah, it's all looking pretty good. I mean, I could fly like this. Fly like this quite happily. We'll bring it back around this tree and back to us, and we'll see what we need to do. Sticking a headlight on it, because behind that playhouse it's completely dark. Let's try and bring it in for a landing on the mat here. Boom. Oh wow, the wind is really rattling the door here. I'm not entirely convinced this is the best idea I've ever had. I'm trying to keep this quad on my property and not in any of the neighbours' gardens. I think that's going to be the main mission of this flight. Slightly nerve-wracking, but I want to know, can I fly it? Can I fly it with no lights on at all? Stealth mode, night vision. All right. So we've got the torch loaded up. I'll put it onto quite a bright setting. Let's see if we can even get this guy off the ground like that. It's a lot of extra weight for such a small little quad. Let's try and get this guy up in the air. That's the main problem we're going to have, isn't it? Oh, I ran away. Just got caught up on the... just look at me, come and get it. Got caught up on there. Okay, let's just try it like that. Balanced up there, that's cool. Give it a big old throttle punch. See if we can get that up in the air. See if having a torch on it actually makes any difference. Right, let's go. It's up. Oh, it's heavy. It's heavy. It feels heavy. But you know what? The torch, see the rain in the footage, the torch seems to be lighting the way quite nicely. Let's go behind here. This is completely dark normally. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it comes through. Look at this. It's lighting its own way. This is epic. All right, I'm going to bring this puppy in. This is really good. I'm going to bring this puppy in. I'm going to turn off the lights. See where we get to with that. Just pop him down on the mat here. And again, it's still raining a lot. Okay, I'm going to turn the lights off on my phone. Oh no. What I've done is I've turned on the lights in the house. Turn off the garden lights. There we are. The lights are off. We're flying in the dark. So there we go. That is a drone with a torch on it, flying around the garden in the dark, night vision style. It's fighting the wind a little bit, but I can fly like this. This is insane. I love it. Oh, bay tree. You can see that in the thing. Right, the throttle up. Get down the back here. Ditched it behind the playhouse. Let me go and grab that, and I'll be back for more awesomeness. I've retrieved the quad from behind the playhouse where it's crashed. I've put the run cam in the corner as best I can to try and catch it going through the dark. Let's get this flight underway, shall we? Night mode drone. Let's go. Night vision. I mean, it's a torch, but night vision, baby. Here it goes. Look at that. Oh, it needs throttle. It needs a lot of throttle. And I put it in the lavender. All right. Again. This does work, but I'm flying a quad in the rain with a payload much heavier than it normally has. So let me try and adjust my flying. We'll crack on with this. Armed again. Get it back up. Back up, back up, back up, back up, back up. And go. We'll try and get a lap of the garden in. Here we go. Keep that throttle high because it needs it. Yeah, looks good. The video's gone a bit funny, but I think that's just because the antenna is unhappy. The wind is really picking up at the moment. Put it into the run cam area. All right. It's quite hard to fly quads like this. I'll give it one more shot in a minute. I'll just go and retrieve it. It probably wants a fresh battery pack, actually. Okay, last time, do or die. It's really raining now. The battery in that quad is new. Oh, it's saying 3.7 volts. No way. Why would it be at 3.7? It's a new fresh pack. Let's see how we go. Struggling with throttle management here. It just needs so much throttle in this configuration to fly properly. Pretty narrow beam of light too. It's pretty tricky. I'm getting the low battery warning, but let's pass it through here. Bring it back. Oh yeah, 3 volts. It's just dipping. And that pack wanted to charge, but that's a successful lap of the garden. I'll bring it in on there. Let's chuck another pack in it. All right, fair enough. Another pack. Let's see how we go. I'm willing to give this one more try. The quad's getting wet in the rain. The torch is running out of power a little bit. One more pack. One more pack. All right, pack number 8. You're not a high voltage pack. You're charged to 4.2. Don't fail me now. Recover the telemetry and let's go. Telemetry recovered. Very good. One more time. One more time. Right, my phone is still rolling. The blue beep from the run cam is still rolling. Let's try and get a solid lap of the garden or two to prove night vision drone is what we need in our lives. Right, Mobula 7 1S plus little tiny torch. It's falling over. Pick it back up, get it up in the air. Get it out from the flying area. There we go. I haven't adjusted my goggles for this. Whoa, I hit the train. I've put it in the same place, like round the back there. This is terrible. I'm getting very nervous now. Hands are shaking on the transmitter. My goggle settings aren't the best, but I can see in front of me. The cameras are rolling as far as I can see. Tried to adjust my goggles and I just knocked the the DVR off. Let's arm this puppy and try and get a lap of the garden in. It's really raining now. I don't really want to fly it anymore. Nerve-wracking. Let's go. Up we go, up we go, up we go. Come on. Skim the lavender. Yeah, we got it. Need to be gentle. Get that throttle high enough to cope with the weight of the camera, but not flying around leaving the property. Down the back here. This is the challenge. Bushes come out of nowhere. It's a very narrow field of view. But, oh my gosh. It's loads of fun. I can kind of see where I'm going. I can see the house. See the tables. It's getting blown around all over the place. Let's orbit the washing line if I can. A little orbit in. Yeah, it's pretty flyable. I mean, struggling on the throttle, but I can fly around like this and actually see where I'm going. Just crashed into something. Okay, let's bring it around the crabapple tree and back in. It's just slow responses. It's like driving a boat. See the garage light on and my silhouette. Oh, it's going down. Get that throttle up and over to the landing mat. Bring her in. Lovely. That was a success. I'm loving it. I don't know if I'd ever want to fly like that again because it's terrifying, but it does work. That's sick, man. Let's get back in the garage and talk about that. Okay, we're back in. We've got the little drone. Got his little light on him there. I've turned the light down a bit, but night vision drone. Here it is. That was just terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. As soon as those lights went off, it was impossible to see anything in the periphery. This little torch is pretty bright, but the beam is pretty narrow. And flying this tiny quad with all that extra weight was really tricky. It just moved like an oil tanker. It would not turn. It wouldn't lift up. It needed a ton of throttle, a ton of roll and pitch input to keep the thing vaguely going straight. And with that narrow field of view, I just kept hitting branches and chairs and the post on the playhouse I think I hit, and ended up in the weeds. But we got a bit of a lap of the garden done. Actually really, really good fun. Just whizzing around with just a torch on the front of the drone. I mean, I can't think what this would be useful for, except for flying down a long dark pipe and scaring yourself to death with hitting all the walls and everything else. But it does work. If one day the garden lights are out and I have to fly, I can chuck this on the front and see where we're going. Now that flying was absolutely insane. I don't know if I'd ever do that again. I can certainly see the benefits if the garden lights are on for the darker corners, but again, it's a lot of weight. I don't really want to fly the quad like that, to be honest. I say that, but if you stick around for another video, you'll see that I'm actually going to fly the quad with quite a ton of weight on it, just to see how many batteries I can stick on the damn thing, because, you know, twice the battery, twice the flight time. Physics doesn't work like that. But this can lift more than one battery, and lots of people get long range, or long endurance, should I say, out of these by adding a larger battery pack. And I am probably going to try experimenting with the various size battery packs I've got and attaching them to it. That's for another video. Back to the weight of the thing, with the torch on it, just insane. I don't think I'd ever want to fly it around like that for fun. It's just not as nimble, it doesn't turn, it's impossible, and it hits everything to the sides of itself. Just because it's drifting around all over the place with the extra weight, it's not tuned for that much weight. And I'm still a beginner, I can barely fly these things. I mentioned earlier that it's a better RC basher than my favourite RC Basher RC car. That may well be true. There's another video about that. If you want to see that one, I'll link that in the cards at the end if that's been made. Otherwise, take a look at the videos I've got on this little thing. If you're interested in drone tech, back last year I threw a drone lens onto a Nerf tank. So check that out too. And I'll see you in the next one when my heart rate has gone down and I'm a little bit less frightened. I'm going to fly my drone into my neighbour's hot tub.